My name is Michael. I'm a comedian who used to be a lawyer before. In my former life, I was a lawyer. Thank you guys for coming out. I'm honored that you guys have come out today to listen to me speak. I don't know what I know that you guys have come to hear. But then I like to tell my story every time. I like that little kid. What's his name? Jaden. You people should leave that name alone. I actually was having this conversation with someone yesterday, and she made me understand that Yorubas actually very rarely bear English names, except they have like an Orthodox background, right? So maybe you have like an Orthodox background, that's why you don't give a Bible name. So I have an Orthodox background, I grew up Catholic, so everybody in our family is English name, but I'm not Yoruba, by the way. I'm from Edo State. My native name is Amanesi. Yes, and it means you don't decide for God. And that's how I'm going to start my story today. Because I was born in 1992, 2 weeks before I was meant to be born. So I came out 2 weeks before due date. My mom was planning to go to the village to go and have me in village. And she was packing her bags and everything in the night that, they will go tomorrow. By the way, this story, don't tell anybody, because the actual story I tell people is that they almost bombed me in UK, but then there was a crisis and our flights could not move. This real story I'm telling you now, it's off the camera. This doesn't go out. I'm just joking. So then my mom goes into labor and she gives birth to me. And she named me Amanesi, which means you don't decide for God. It turns out that that name has followed me all through my life, because it's almost as though when I make decisions for myself, then God comes and says, hey, no, bruh, that's not the way to go. Yes, there's always a better plan. For those who are not exactly Christian or not religious, what I describe as God, you can also describe as the universe or the source. So for me, my journey has always been about the source, trying to connect to the source that has given all of us life, that has brought all of us here. And that's been my journey for me. Because growing up, I always loved comedy. I always wanted to be a comedian. But I didn't think I was going to become a comedian. Most importantly, because we grew up in times where what was trendy was you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer, or a journalist. You know, those very boring, boring, serious jobs that if you don't pass jam that time, it's like you're about to die. It's like your life is about to end. If you all go to we all gone to like uni or tertiary institutions, everybody interesting. Except JD. Oh yeah, JD. What do you call his Yoruba name? You are giving this boy problems. You give me a name that everybody can pronounce. That's okay. So yeah, growing up, always loved comedy. I remember the first time ever that I thought about making people laugh. I was 7 years old. We're doing a drama in primary school. I was in primary 3 then. And they asked me to play Joseph, the father of Jesus. If you remember this particular story, Joseph don't really get lines like that because now I can pass. You just get like very small lines. I wasn't happy because I'm like, why can't I play Jesus? And I was not bowed then. Before you think it's because of my head that they didn't allow me to play Jesus. I was still very young. I had very healthy hair then. So I'm like, why can't I play Jesus? No answers. So I said, okay, this role of Joseph the carpenter that they gave me, even if it's one sentence I'm going to say, when I finish that sentence, everybody must know that I acted in that drama. I remember telling myself this as young as 7 years old. And lo and behold, I did say that line and people laughed. And I will never forget that feeling. So I think that it was since then that I continued to find that feeling. But because of societal pressures, trend, and etc., I wasn't sure. And I know that many of us have probably gone through a stage like that in life where you are not sure. Some of us are probably still going through that stage where you are not sure. I went through that stage. Growing up, it was a bit hard to decide if I wanted to do it 100%. But like I said, when you're connected to the source, it always goes with you. So I think that there was always that deep connection that I felt every time I tried to make somebody laugh. And I think that for every individual here, every human being, there's something that is inside of you that makes you feel really good. Maybe it's challenging, maybe it's a bit tough, it's a bit hard for you to execute most times. It probably feels like there are people who do this way better than you. We also have that thing in our society where we always compare. One of the notes that I wrote down while preparing for this yesterday was run your race at your own pace. A Yoruba proverb for that would be Mawago alago shishe. There's also one Mawago alago shishe ki shishe shishe yin ma lo dabi ole. Yes, that's it. I got it correctly. So run your race at your own pace. So it's important for us to understand that in anything that we feel good about that we can actually do, there's a danger in comparing yourself with other people who do it well. There's a thin line between watching others to learn and watching others to compare your abilities. The quickest way to not do anything is to compare people's abilities to yours. Because more often than not, you will find people who are better than you. More often than not. So if you are always looking out for people who are better than you, which is what I did for the longest, which made me make my decision much later than I should have. Don't get me wrong. Everything happened perfect timing. I would not change anything. But one of the major issues that I had, I kept comparing myself to other established comedians. So I remember I used to watch a lot of Night of 1,000 Laughs CDs then. You guys remember Night of 1,000 Laughs now? Then Bowie, Basket Mouth, those guys were crazy, they were insane. But there was something particular about comedy back then. Everybody used to speak Pidgin. I don't know if you remember. But I literally do remember a comedian back in the day who used to speak English, except Tenju Babyface. And even he had to rebrand and go into, thank you very much, show host. So it was really crazy back in the day when you think, oh, I'm a comedian, but I can't really crack jokes with Pidgin. How am I going to do it? So one of the first things I did was I actually started to write jokes in Pidgin. They stoned me away from the stage. I'm not even joking. Because I started my, and I say it was late because throughout my time in uni, I used to go to shows and watch comedians perform. And I used to sit at the back and think, can I do that? I asked that question, I kept asking. Can I do that? I didn't make the decision until I was in 500 level. Yes, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level. 500 level was when I started to perform comedy. And it turns out that in that 500 level, and I started to do the pigeon T. They stoned me out of amphitheater. I remember it was the first time Adekunle Gold came to perform in OAU, and they needed comedians to perform. So I went there. You get one man. They stoned this man. They no pity the man. No. They stoned me. It didn't happen once, it happened several times. It got to the point that my friends started gossiping me, and the gossip was now reaching me. They were like, better focus on your law. You know when they're gossiping you, and the gossip will now trickle down to you yourself. Crazy. But eventually, I kept at it. It was at that point that I actually almost gave up. That was the only time in my life that I almost gave up on my craft. But then I had this friend who encouraged me. So from that story, I'd like to say, first things first, try as much as possible not to compare yourself with any other person. Because when you compare, you probably try to now act like that person you're trying to compare yourself with. And at your core, what makes you who you are is not what makes another person who they are. Now, you can watch people and model yourself after people. I mean, one of my greatest role models is Kevin Hart. Yes, Kevin Hart. That's why I have, this is where you open your eyes. So that's why I have a healthy body now. Like I have a build and everything, because you know Kevin Hart's very ripped and stuff. So I started working on my build like last year, Sha. And can she go to the back? I'm still working on it. I'm not dying yet. So yes, I'm still working on it. Yeah, we can model ourselves after other people who have excelled in whatever industry that we want to work in, which is one of the things that I did. So I tried to model myself, try to see what does this person do well, what do they do excellently, how can I bring that into my own craft. So yes, after 500 level, when they stoned me, I actually started to do content. That was 2015. That's when I actually started to post content. And I was just enjoying the process, really. Did I know that I was going to be a famous content creator? Absolutely not. If anything, I planned to be an apprentice to a comedian in like a few years after. I used to think that I'll probably go and meet like the likes of them, Alibaba, AY, tell them that I want to learn how to do comedy, and then have to follow them around. That was hard for me because I was already a lawyer. Yeah, and you can imagine what it would mean for someone who is a lawyer. Lawyers have big egos, by the way, and it's not like I know Sabi book, I Sabi book there. I feel like people don't believe me when I say that. I saw some snide reactions. I Sabi book, maybe not die. But yeah, I Sabi book. So it was a bit hard, but it was a bit hard to completely decide if I wanted to stick with comedy because of the process that I thought was going to happen. But because I had already been shooting content even before I finished school, before I finished law school, I'd already been shooting content here and there. No traction though. It's not like there was traction and I was saying, this one I'm already getting likes. Maybe I should leave law. No traction, zero. In fact, I even used to MC events then, take my money that I used to MC events and promote my content on IG. Like I used to pay to promote content back in the day. And sometimes I'll get 2,000 likes. It did be like say make I craze. I remember the first time I had 1,000 likes on a content. It was a mannequin challenge in 2016, I think, or early 17. So I remember that I got my guys in the house, were like 10. I went to do that challenge. I used my dad's old car. So we just drove the car like this. Everybody just paused. The camera was not going around. Bro, 1,000 likes on the content. It was insane. And small as that may have seemed, it was actually one of the things that kept the engine running, kept it moving. So yes, despite the fact that I wasn't sure, I was still putting in the effort, if you get what I mean. I was still trying to get one or two things done. And immediately I was done with law school and I was going to service here. And I saw what I usually see in the Nigerian legal industry. I made a decision. Well done, Chief. Welcome. You're very early. We're in Lagos, so you're wearing what is your. You sure you don't want to put on that jacket? So it's only the singlets. You know the singlet people are wearing nowadays? You don't wear it. You just say you don't have chain. Anyway, so like I was saying, welcome though, my chief. Like I was saying, even though I wasn't as sure, I was still putting things out into the universe. And when I finally decided that I was going to leave the legal profession and focus on comedy, barely a few months after, then I started going viral. And that was very, very inspirational for me. Very inspirational for me. Because if I didn't make that decision to stay with what I actually loved and believed in, definitely I could not have planted that seed into the universe and made that happen. Yeah, so that's the beginning of my story. I kept being consistent at it. At every time where I needed to switch up, form a new character, stay with the times. I tried my best to do that and still doing that because the world is always changing. You agree, right? At a much faster pace now than it used to be. I think that we're getting into the peak of the internet, the peak of social media, the peak of media in general, even with the advent of AI, by the way. In a few years, what we're going to be able to do with AI is just insane. Insane. So I think that we're in the perfect place, we're in the perfect moment to be a content creator, to be an influencer, to be anything really. Because the world has so evolved to the point where whatever it is that you do, you can sell on the internet. Are you a fashion designer? Are you a baker? Are you a chef? Can you speak? Are you a fine boy? Are you a fine girl? Yeah, I mean, there is no limit to what we can do with the internet. It's a marketplace. And what's important about a marketplace, I don't know if you guys go to the market, but I actually like going to the market. I haven't gone in a while. I can't still. I can't, why can't I? I'd like to go to the market soon, actually. I thought about it. What do you say? No, I don't. I like to live normal life, by the way. It's one of the slight disadvantages of being a celebrity. I'm not complaining, but I would like to do things like go to the market and actually buy pomo. Why are you talking like you have plans for me? Now, excuse me, who is this lady? Earlier on, I said that I'm rich. She said not, what is it? I have my eyes on you. So yes, the internet is now like a marketplace. And the thing about the marketplace is, there is so many things in the market. Do you agree? If you go to Baluk Market, do you know how many brands of shirts you are going to see if you want to buy? Do you know how many brands of wristwatches that exist? A few years ago, people used to ask me this question a lot, that do you think that the industry is saturated? Do you think that this... That time, maybe we had like 20, 30 famous online comedians. Now, I can count 100 like this as I'm sitting down. That's the one I can count. And I'm sure there is like another 100 that I've not even seen. Is every day I'm seeing content. And I'm like, who is this guy? And you know me, I'm not Gen Z. My PA is Gen Z. It's crazy how you look up like that. I be like Gen Z to you. What of that? I won't do that thing. Hey, look at where you people see these people. But it's crazy how millennials were like out of touch, like on a lot of things. There's new music now. We don't hear it until like 6 months, 1 year later. And then I'm now hearing the song and I'm like, wow, this is a fantastic song. This idiot is like, boss, it came out last year. What do you mean? What did he say? He said, you don't trend pass. What trend pass? Yeah, so it's such a wide marketplace now, such a big marketplace now, but no one is a threat to another person. I like to use this saying that is very much a cliche now. The sky is wide enough for everyone to fly, but it is the truth. I don't think I've ever looked up in the sky before and I see two birds have accident. Have you seen two birds crashing? I don't want to use aeroplane now before I go say. But even aeroplanes hardly ever crash in the sky. Excuse me. Help me ask her. I say hardly. Hardly. Even though recently, it's still hardly. It's here every day the airplane is crashing. It's not rampant. It's not rampant. It's not rampant. It's not rampant. So the sky is very wide for everyone to fly, every bird to fly. It's just important for each bird to have their mode of flying. Birds don't fly the same way. One of the things I noticed a few days ago, actually, so I like to take walks in the morning, early in the morning. If you like to sleep early and you live in an area where you can take walks, because not every area person if you walk. Of area where you can walk. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I won't beg before, but I now come back. So I now realize, hey, we're in Nigeria. So if you live in an area where you can walk, one of the greatest things that you can do for your mental health is when you wake up in the morning, take a walk for like 10, 15 minutes period and just look at life happening around you. It's going to inspire you in ways you could hardly ever imagine. So one of the things that I did recently, I used to watch the way birds actually fly. They have different flying patterns. And I also noticed that after flapping their wings, I'm sure you must have noticed, after flapping their wings for a while, it gets to a point, they just glide. they just glide. What I take from that is, there's a place of effort, but there's also the place of, I'm looking for the perfect English word. Say again. Glide. There's also the place of ease. Sometimes, because of the society where we have grown up in, we tend not to really like ease. Because people have convinced us that everything that happens in life has to be hard. It's almost as though you must always efficiency. But we have actually come to a world now where it's almost as though less effort and more ease gets you more. Because, and let me just take a very quick analysis of how content used to be, how it transformed to be, and how it is now. I'm going to try. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But initially, like say 4, 5, 6 years ago, most content were fun content. People just used to spontaneously shoot content with their phone, like much earlier, like some 6 years ago. I don't know if you agree. Then it advanced. People used to use cameras to shoot. That was now the age of subscribe to my YouTube channel, um, watch full video on YouTube. Am I correct? Then people started getting tired of longer content. I mean, it got to a point where people now started shooting longer content on Instagram and all these short platforms, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes. We had a lot of those in the pandemic because people were home and they could watch content for as long as possible. Then after the pandemic, people started to get tired little by little of long form content on short form platforms. And it seems that we have gone back now to the age where most content that goes viral are the contents where you just quickly pick out your phone and shoot randomly. That's why you have a lot of family content creators. In fact, let me just tell you guys this one. Don't record it, please. This is a secret. Next week, I want to go and impregnate somebody. Yes. Excuse me. You are not the one I'm impregnating. Remove your mouth from this matter. So that I'm going to have baby mama and I'll born children and we'll be doing content together. Do you understand? Excuse me now. She's not drag me. Even the dragging now is content. Even dragging. Yes, before they used to say, oh, me, I don't want controversy. No. People are even looking for, once the controversy happens, they go and shoot skits of the controversy. I saw a skit of a controversy. It's not even that one. Somebody came online and was shouting that they did something to her. She have used it to shoot skits this morning like this. Oh, you saw it? Bust my head. But yeah, like I said, things are changing. I think we're approaching an era where spontaneity is becoming the fastest selling type of content now. So how spontaneous can you be? How natural can you be? I think most importantly, we're going to an era where people want to see your natural self. They don't want you to be fake. So if you're in pain, they want to see you in pain. If you're happy, they want to see you. I'm not sure they want to see you happy, really, like that. But except, okay, maybe you buy car or house now. They want to see you. They won't mind if the house burned down, but they just want to see it. So we're in an era now where a lot of things that you don't know is going to trend is going to trend. Does that mean that you should not leave proper preparation, or formal, very, very planned out content that you have been planning all your life? Absolutely not. It's just very important for you to understand that you can mix and match. I don't know if that's a correct term, but yeah, you can mix. It's important for every content creator to be malleable. Now you feel that all these my English terms, because as I drop out, nobody they even they talk Rema. Person supposed to do. It's important for a content creator nowadays to be malleable in the sense that you need to be able to adjust. Flexible. Thank you very much. Yes, so I don't know. Do you guys feel like I've told you my story so far? But we're still on the path, Abby. But I've started at least, right? Yes, I've started at least. Yeah. So I think I stopped at somewhere in 2017 when I said my first few contents went viral. Then I suppose. Okay. I mean, I feel like the whole world has seen what happened after. Pretty much after. Excuse me, madam. Stop shaking your head. Excuse me, please. Go and Google it. Yeah, so I mean, life has just been, afterwards, just been an era of being consistent, trying to be as creative as possible, trying to, complete milestones, various milestones that that was set out, and also trying to adapt and be malleable, which we'll continue to do till we leave the face of the earth. Thank you very much. You're far too kind. Yeah, so for me, content creation is life. Content creation is beautiful, and I'm just experiencing life through creating content, as I think that we all should do. Yeah, I don't like to talk too much, so I think I better hang my boots here. Then we can now ask questions and other thoughts will follow.
So when you left NYC that you wanted to focus on content creation,
Yeah.
you were not making money from content creation?
No.
How were you able to manage making money and creating content? Because it's a big challenge now. If you want to combine your work and content creation, it will be very overwhelming.
Depends on what you call your work.
Like,
what do you do?
I'm a social media manager and a content creator, and I'm trying to change my type of content creation. So creating content and managing different platforms for people is very challenging. And most times I don't have time for my own personal work. So it won't build my own page myself.
Okay.
I need to make money from there, and
I agree. Life is in stages. Life is in stages, and things are not always perfect. Many times we expect everything to be 2 + 2 = 4, 4 + 4 = 8. But life is way more dynamic than that. So it means that you can see 2 + 2 and it will equal 5. Where am I going with this? There's something you're doing at the moment to make money, but beyond making money from that, you are also learning how to handle social media platforms from your work, right? Do you feel like that would help you in a few years when you actually are standing on your own and creating your own content? How long have you been doing it for?
3 years.
3 years. At some point, you'll have to take a big leap of faith, leave what is paying you money for doing what you don't like, and do what you like and try and make money from it. I'm with you. I don't agree. If you work hard enough at your passion and it is connected to you, you can find ways. There is no... Akialabi is my friend. And I think that is a fantastic author. But I don't think that everything that everyone says is what we should follow. Every individual has their own path. Is your passion important to you? Do you feel like your passion, you are good enough in that thing that you think that you do? So it means that all you have now is fear. So you are trying to get from point A to point B, but you are not sure that if you make that decision, you will make that money. Am I correct? Does that mean that there are not people who do what you want to do and make that money? They are. So I think that when we quote people, we have to be careful so that we don't wrongly misquote them. There could also be context. So when we say that your passion will not always pay you, it does not mean that your passion will not sometimes pay you. It does not mean that everybody's passion will pay them. But there are still some people who, when they are determined enough, their passion is going to pay them. So if you have been doing this for 3 years, there's something that the universe has put there for you to learn. And when you are done learning it, you decide when you are done learning it. When you are done learning it, you have to take that leap of faith and go from your point A to point B. Just as Akialabi said, your passion doesn't always pay. Will Smith said, your plan B will always distract you from your plan A. So what is your plan A? By the way, that was one of the quotes that made me decide to actually focus on comedy. Understand that I had spent 7 years studying law. 7. My mom literally used to take me to father, like she used to take my name to fathers and musainos that she thinks I'm running mad. Cause they even borrow money to send me to law school. Let me just tell you everything. Like, let me collapse everything for you. So they now borrow money to send me to law school. They will now see me carrying bag, walking, wearing white, the white shirt that I used to go to law school. And I'm on the street answering questions. Do you understand? It seemed like a crazy thing to do. But I took that leap of faith. So you need to take your leap of faith and completely believe in yourself. Do you understand? Especially if you don't like what you're doing. So if you don't like what you're doing, however, the universe does not make a mistake, because whatever it is that you are doing now, there's something you are learning there. And when you are done learning that thing, move. Do you understand? Thank you very much.
Can we put on together for her that question? Just a picture of her. I don't know if you can relate well to our question. Yeah. Because I've met people who are struggling with that thing. Like, they want to do their plan A, but they have to eat now. Because plan A no go feed you now. You know, and they've been on plan B. It's been 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you know. That fear. I think
is that fear?
Yeah, I think that was a very, very vital point.
Fear.
One more time, I want to get up for.
And if you're a Christian, there's one thing that Jesus Christ said in the Bible. He said, if he can rub the flowers in the fields with such beautiful attires, much more beautiful than the garments of King Solomon, how much more you faithless ones? So the source that brought you here is not going to leave you. The source that gave you that thing in your heart that keeps calling you that, hey, do me. There's a plan. You don't need to see that plan before you step into the plan. Blessed are those who do not see, yet believe.
Lawyer, pastor, everything.
If I tell you it's I don't be Christian, you go bust your head on that. I'm actually not a Christian, but Christ is one of my spiritual teachers.
Awesome.
You're not a Christian. Sorry, what religion do you practice?
Okay, questions now coming up.
What religion do you
None.
practice?
None.
So I have a suggestion, if I may.
All right, please.
For her. So you're a social media manager at the moment. Do you have people who work with you?
I work with my company. I manage accounts with people. So I don't have to just me or fully team of people I work with.
Right. Okay. So what I would suggest is you're the owner of your brand. You could bring in people who can help you with content or help you with something that would then help you to do the job better. So that kind of helps you. Sorry?
Like, she paid them.
Yeah, you pay them. Exactly. So if you have like 2 or 3 people, depending on the capacity that you're working with, you have 2 or 3 people who can work with you, who can help you to create your content calendar, who can help you to create your content. It gives you more time to do your own stuff. So you could transition smoothly rather than, it depends on you though.
Let somebody
You could
know.
let it.
How much do you make in a month?
She might not want to say that.
No, just give us like from this to this.
No, but I mean, regardless of how much you earn, if you can
Because-
afford to bring in 1 person, or you can afford to bring in 2 people, bring in somebody to take off the work from your head, so that you can have some more time to focus on your own content, and then gradually you can bring in more people to help you, and then you're a full-blown content creator.
Yeah, I understand that. I've talked about that too.
My name is Shindori, and my question is, you said for lack of better words, you blow in that your mannequin challenge.
I did not blow it.
Like you said,
I had 1,000 likes.
you Is it from that like video you started like gaining traction?
No,
Yeah.
like I didn't gain traction until like maybe like 2 years after.
Like, tell us about it.
I should tell you about that part.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I assume you mean I should tell you about the time that I started to gain traction, right?
No, like my question is basically yes, because I remember when I had like my first 1K views on YouTube, I thought that was it. Like,
Oh, I get it.
YouTube now said, "Hold my cup, I'm coming."
I get it.
My next videos did not even.
I get it.
It didn't have 300 views.
I get it. I get it.
So,
I get it. So what I'm going to try and tell you, I want to tell you about the first viral content that I had. So the first viral content I had was when I did a video where I said every certificate I see, I burn. Content went viral, pieces. It was my fourth content in that series. It was like the first time that I wore my white and black to do a content. So when it got viral, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do because, okay, this one has gone viral. What will I do in the next video that will make it go viral? It's almost as though when you enter somewhere and you want to stay in there, but you don't know what it takes to stay in there. So for the next 2 weeks, I kept shooting and shooting and shooting, but I never posted. Because I was too scared that this next video was going to do anything close to what the other video did. Until sometime 2 weeks later, and I decided that, let me just post. It didn't do well. The post didn't do well at all. In fact, the next 3 or 4 posts didn't do well. The next time that I went viral was like a month later. That is after a month of consistent posts. So for content creators, it may be a danger sometimes to go viral because you think that you have arrived when you go viral. But it would be nice to have it at the back of your mind that you never truly arrive. There is no destination. Understand that there is no destination. As much as you want to do this for traction, you need to understand it is more important, your why is more important than the traction that you are going to get. Because you will get to a point where you would not get as much traction as you used to get or as you want to get. So why do you do what you do? Why do you create those contents on YouTube? You have to keep enjoying it and keep giving that energy into the universe. Do you understand? Keep enjoying it, keep giving that energy to the universe, and also try and upgrade. When I say upgrade, if you used to shoot by yourself before, try and collaborate if you can with 1 or 2 persons who probably have more traction than you. Do you understand? So whatever it is that you're doing now, you can try and just sprinkle a little bit of spice on it. Just keep improving, keep getting better, and focus on the doing rather than what you are getting out of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, so once you do that, that's good energy that you're pouring into the universe. It's going to come eventually. Thank you very much for the question.
One more time, round of applause.
All right.
Your question, it's not easy to have one content that does well. I now wait for like 2 more years. Like we're not off camera. Off your mic, please. The question.
It's hard, especially on TikTok. I swear, TikTok, if you get 1 million views, your next starting fee be 404. 485. Your question, man.
Okay, hi, Lively.
Hi.
So my question is around what is currently trending in the content creators industry. I know that when it comes to content creation and collaboration, people have like preferences. Like if I were to be a content creator, for example, an established content creator, I would have, okay, these are people I want to collaborate with. These are the boxes I need to tick, or the person needs to tick before I'm able to collaborate with. So my question is to you personally, like for your own kind of brand, what are those boxes that you would like for the person that wants to collaborate with you to tick before you are able to, collaborate with them? Because we are just hearing about this because it is too big. How like it? We have two big people involved in it. But these are conversations that happen silently, where people are like, that content creator does not even collaborate with people and all of that. So for you personally, what are those boxes that anybody who wants to collaborate with you needs to take before they can?
Just bring your A game. That's all. Just bring your A game. I mean, I love excellence. I try to be excellent. Note that I didn't say perfection, by the way, because perfection is very dangerous. But yeah, I love excellence. I love great energy. So I think anybody that has great energy, regardless of how many followers you have, regardless of what you have done, what you're still doing, as long as you bring your A game, you have great energy, I'm very happy to collaborate with people. We meet new people every day. We meet different types of people every day. When I meet people that bring their A game, people that have great talent, people that I feel like the world needs to see, I don't have any problem working with them. I don't know if it's the same for all content creators or all people who do what I do, but for me, once you bring your A game, you're good, and you can make me step up my level, then I'm happy. Because iron sharpeneth iron. Another Bible.
Okay, so who has questions again? Like second round of questions. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so 3 more people.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
So I've heard your story,
Okay.
and it's really amazing so far.
Thank you.
My question is, where do you see yourself? Like, what's your end goal? Where is that place that you get when you say, I've arrived? You know, I mean, you've come so far from 2015, 16 till 2025 now. So where is that?
Almost 10 years,
you're
crazy.
looking at? So yeah, I think that answer would really help me, because there's some questions I'm trying to ask in my head for myself. And I believe that it will help me also, based on the fact that we're all creatives.
Okay.
And learn from each other.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my question.
Thank you very much for that question. So, in the past few years, I've been in the process of an awakening, in the sense that societal expectations, family expectations, societal pressure. I'm getting to a point where they don't really affect me. So the way I see things like this are a bit different from how I used to see them. I also have to add that as humans are constantly changing, I am also constantly changing. But where I am at the moment is I'm here to experience life. And I mentioned earlier that I don't think that at any point in time we are going to arrive, because there is no destination. The human life is such that whatever it is that has been the ceiling for 50 years, in the next 50 years, is going to change. That ceiling will probably be a footmat. So there is no point that I can get to that I will feel like I have arrived. I hope not. Before, I used to think that, oh, I have arrived. But like I said again, there is no destination. I'm here to experience life in the fullest, which is what I'm also going to try and advise you to do. So when you're experiencing life completely, whatever life throws at you, you accept it and you move with the tide. Do you understand? It may seem a bit complicated, but I watched an interview late last year when a young lady asked Mike Tyson that what would it like his legacy to be? And his response was, there's no such thing as legacy, because when you are dead, you are dead. So someone asked me the question a few weeks after, and I responded as well by saying that I don't know what my legacy is going to be. Because it is not for me to decide what my legacy is going to be. It is for people who see what I have done afterwards. After I've experienced life completely, they're the ones that worry about, oh, what legacy did he leave? If me, I don't live my life completely or enjoy my life to the fullest, what use is my legacy? So the only advice I'm going to give you is in whatever it is that you are doing, live life to the fullest, embrace life, and don't worry about reaching any level, because you don't even know when you are going to the other side. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't wish bad or evil for you, but I don't know when I'm leaving this place. So what if tomorrow now I collapse and in my mind, no, is this truth? Is the truth? I'm going to give you a very quick example. Sometime 2 years ago, I remember that I had about 2.5 million followers then. There was this lady that had never seen me before. I was on a set. She had never seen me before, never met me. But we acted together. She saw that I was funny, I was hilarious. And she's like, I like you. I didn't know you before. And I'm like, oh, I'm on Instagram. She checks my Instagram. She sees 2.5 million followers. She's blown away. But me, now me get the followers. To me, you know they ever bust my head because now me get the followers. So when she says, wow, this is beautiful, this is wonderful, and I'm like, it's just there. She takes offense and immediately she says, she gives me a mad analogy. She says, are you Christian? I said, yes. I was really deep in my, then. She said, if you are God and you are the one that created you and gave you this talent, these followers, and this everything, and you are in heaven while someone is praising the work that you did. Now, if you are in that heaven now, and you hear that person that you worked on saying, it's all right, how would you feel? Does that make sense? So whatever point you are, whatever level you are, be appreciative, enjoy it to the fullest, accept it, and just keep enjoying life. We're here to create and enjoy life. Thank you very much. I hope I answered that question well.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so my question is, while you were working as a lawyer, and like you said, you did your NYC, you practiced for a year, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay, so how were you able to balance creating content and also doing your work?
You can't balance it. So I didn't try. Yes, you can't, so I didn't try. Especially a profession as jealous as law. So understand that I always thought that I could do it. I always thought that I could be a practicing lawyer because I really like law. Like.
I'm going to law school, so
I really like law. Like it's really fun. It's really fun. But what they're teaching us in school and what they are doing outside is like this. So it's not encouraging at all. So even if, number one, you can't do both first, understand that you cannot do both. I actually tried because me and a friend actually opened a chamber. Yes, and we wanted to be practicing and doing all of this stuff, be taking cases. But just as law is a very jealous profession and requires all your time, so as well, content creating, it requires all your time because you can literally be awake at night thinking of a content. Do you understand? And you have to shoot. Something could be trending today. And if you don't shoot that content today, it has gone, like for life. It's stale for life. You can't shoot it again. If you shoot it, it's not going to have as much bite as it would have if you shot that content today. So both professions require all of your time, all of your dedication, etc. So I didn't try. So first day, when I went into the chamber where I was working in Ibadan, the first day they're going to pay me 5K. First. Yes. They say they don't really pay coppers here, but they can give me 5K for the month for tea fair. He can't even cater for TFL for 1 week. But should I bust your head? Every time I receive that 5K, I dey happy there. Because he go buy Indomie at least for house. So first, I wasn't encouraged. So I told them that, see, this thing that you guys are doing, I don't really want to do it. So can I be coming 2 times? And they said, fine. So first, I told them I will be coming twice in a week. So that twice in a week, the remaining 3 days, I dey shoot my content back to back. Do you understand? Yeah, so I didn't try because I knew that I believed that both of them were jealous. And also, I encountered that Will Smith's saying, which says, your plan B will always distract you from your plan A. So you need to choose now. Which one is your plan A? Is it the law or the content creation?
So I'm asking for my nephew. I'm kind of in charge of the shooting and a lot of stuff. I shoot his videos. He's a lifestyle content creator.
I actually need a kid for, there's this content that I want to do. Yeah, there's this. Fantastic. Fantastic. Dangerous baby. Danger. You know what to do. Yes, that's my PA's name. Danger.
Wow.
That's it.
It's
dangerous. Very careful the way you speak to him. Very dangerous. So you were asking for him.
Yeah. So I'm in charge of the shooting and a lot of bookings and all of that. But I'm very passionate about law. Like very, very passionate. Now I'm going to law school and at some point I'll start practicing and all of that. So I was just asking how you were able to manage both. Because at the end of the day, I'll be doing his content like it's mine. Like I take his business like it's my own. But I also take my law career like it's my own. So I just don't know. I wouldn't even like to maybe get a manager for him at some point. I'll still be very involved. So that's why I'm asking if there's a way around.
I think that we can use the advice she gave. Delegation of authority, division of labor. As much as you don't want to trust somebody to do what you can't do when you're not there, you will need to, at some point in time, get to a level where you can employ someone, you can watch that person, see what they're doing, so that sometimes when you are not there, things can get done. In fact, if you're going to build an empire, if you plan to become really big in this, if you plan to become really, really exceptional, there's going to get to a point where you have to trust people to do things for you. You have to collaborate. So also consider collaboration in the sense that there are times where you would not be there. Find someone that can do what you can do. I'm not saying that you should stop working with him, because obviously the passion that you have for him and the care that you have, no one else can have it. But there's nothing wrong with sharing a little bit of that burden and a little bit of that cheddar. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
Blood.
My question is basically regarding the type of content you want to create.
Okay.
The thing is, what is, how do I put this? Okay. For example, you have a specific type of, I took something you said about you not agreeing with your passion of paying you. And if you work hard at it, yes,
It would pay you.
But what if the stuff you are passionate about putting out there is not something that the general public relates to? Now, for example, using you as an example, you are a comedian. Everybody likes to laugh. And of course, you hack the Nigerian demographic as to the type of content that Nigerians would relate to in terms of comedy. Not saying you don't have the knowledge of it, but I'm not sure you want to come with kind of entrepreneur, Dave Chappelle kind of thing to Nigerians. They would not get it on time, even though you do have the knowledge of it. But for someone like me who is very passionate about the kind of stuff I would want to put out, what do you feel about twisting or conforming whatever it is you want to put out in demographic at the risk of losing your own identity as well?
Don't lose your identity, please. The world will always conform to you. The world will always conform. Take a look at R&B artists in Nigeria today. Take a look at R&B artists in Nigeria 10 years ago. It used to be career suicide to sing songs like Arike Owa. Am I lying? Am I lying? It used to be career suicide. If you are a musician and you are on your song, you are like, man or should go. And your song, you're like, I didn't care. They go chase you, come out. Am I lying? But now, 10 years down the lane, the world has opened up. Streaming platforms have opened up. And you can get your music out without necessarily having the entire world loving it first, loving the style of music first. I also want to quickly say that when we started this sometime around 2017, yes, it was already getting an edge, but it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. When I started out, the people I remember who used to do content creation then was Oluwa Dollars, Official Arole, Chris Clown, and then the guys in US. There were not a lot of people in Nigeria then, except the likes of Bovi. Bovi and Basketmouth used to do it, but they were already comedians. There was Fowls, there was Frank Donga. Brother Shaggy came in 2018, January. Imam, my God, yes. Lasisi came 2017, Twice Two was there. But these were people who you would not necessarily see as rich. Am I lying? You would not just see these people and say, these guys get money there. So there wasn't exactly money there then. There was traction, but it wasn't the greatest of traction. So it was not like it has reached its peak. So don't make the mistake of thinking because the world doesn't listen to your type of craft now, that they would not adjust in a few years. It's going to be a terrible mistake, a terrible error. What your goal should be to hone your craft to the best way possible. How can you become the best at which you do? Even if you crack jokes like Trevor Noah. I know people, I don't know if you know SLK. Yes. His comedy is not the regular type of comedy. It took him a long time before people started getting used to his style of comedy. Now he does his stand-up shows every Wednesday at Johnny Rockets, and people are pulling up every single. It's one of the most prestigious stand-up comedy clubs in Nigeria as we speak. Do you understand? And this is someone whose stand-up comedy is not the regular type of comedy. So whatever it is that you do, it doesn't matter if it's not regular now. Keep your head up. Keep honing your craft. I am not saying that you should not also adjust and bring in the things that are trending now or the things that people seem to like now into your identity. But don't change your identity. You can improve on your identity. So just like AI, just like our phones, our softwares, we're always having to update your software. So you can update your software, but it's still that software. Does that make sense? Imagine running a Samsung program. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. I'm not a geek. But imagine like having an iPhone and then downloading like Samsung software on an iPhone. Do you understand? It's not going to work. But on this iPhone, you can update. The iPhone has some programs that only Samsung used to have 5 years ago. Am I correct? There's some program on iPhone now that Samsung used to be the first to have it. With iPhone now say, oh, because it's Samsung that uses this thing, I will not use it. It consign them, so you can update and add a few things from what is trending to your own identity. But please don't change your identity. Because at some point in time when things are not going well, at some point in time when you are facing challenges, the only thing that keeps you going is your identity at your core.
We have a special gift for you, please.
Oh, wow.
Omola, please, can we have it? MC Lively.
See, if you follow your identity to the end, they will give you gifts.
I still find it strange that your name is Michael, so I'm trying to
balance
it.
By the way, I'd like to speak to everyone afterwards, see how we can collaborate, because I mean, we're here for a reason. We're here for a reason. I don't think the universe makes an aesthetic mistake, and there's a reason why we're here together today, and hopefully we can do something together.
Awesome. Olola, please come. Yeah. I want to say a very big thank you.
Wow.
Do not take your time for
Wow.
granted.
Wow.
Do not take your time for granted. Yeah.
Wow.
As a content creator, some
Sorry.
things are important.
Sorry, this man, use my phone. This is your phone. I don't trust this is your camera. Your dangerous camera. Guys, can you see this? I'm going to put this on my bedside as well now.
I'm surprised you did not ask a question.
Yeah, even me. But please, let's leave that question.
Let's leave that question.
I see where you're going.
No, I'm not.
I'll put it there. There's this my new office. I just set it up. I'll just put it on my table. So
Okay, 3 months ago, he came into the office. Yeah.
see that everything works perfectly for good. Thank you so much,
And it's
Trendupp.
also amazing that this is actually being launched at his own session, and I think everything is connected.
Can you say amazing?
Yeah, this is your own edition.
Thank you
and
very much.
Everybody, on behalf of me, everybody's going to be getting one. Yeah, so everybody's getting the first. Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I don't know, to round it up, will anybody like to give like a vote of thanks? I don't want to do that. I feel we've listened and we've gained a lot. Is anybody interested in doing that? A vote of thanks, giving him the last feedback and then close it for today. Anybody? OBO fan number 101. Please come forward here. Argument of whiskey day. Who gave this?
Oh, okay.
So the word of thanks and last comment for Muslim.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Hi.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. I personally have learned a lot, and I wrote down some of the things that
Interesting.
I learned from you. It's not every day that you see celeb come and share how to start, what to do, and all of that. And for that, on behalf of everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we say a very big thank you. More and more milestones.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Alright, thank you so much. Now it's come to the end. Music will be playing while we can take pictures. Let's connect as well. But remember, he said that you would like to connect with everyone. I don't know how you want to do that.
I mean, I'll speak to everybody. Just try and get your names.
Okay, all right. So thank you so much.
Can I quickly say something?
Okay.
I wrote this down yesterday. I wouldn't be happy if I leave here without saying this. Action is the creative energy of the universe. Action is the creative energy of the universe. Many times, we think that we need to feel something before we do it. But you find out at the end of the day that it is in the doing that you feel it. So instead of waiting to feel something before doing it, maybe do it first and then see if you feel it.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Remember to thank the right person. That was a very good one.